reading is one of the important question. If people study well, and each and every term which represent one or other meaning. So carefully read. If you have any doubt, you can contact me at any time. So could you able to see the slide sharing?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. No, nobody is actually, people have joined, simply they left and like that. Nobody was interacting, ma'am.
No idea, ma'am.
Very good, ma'am. Excellent answer. Very good. Intelligent answer. You only reply, somebody else came in the chat. I request all, please respond, ma'am. Okay. But the interaction is not, yes, ma'am?
Number of times, but at least hello, ma'am, good morning, something.
Nothing, yeah. That's what I felt. Simply in each session when they started, they will join and left. If I am shouting in the middle, some of them will respond, I think so. So, okay, no problem. One-to-one discussion we'll have. If you have any doubt, you can clarify very nicely. You can understand the subject well. Still, my mind is telling that you wait for 2-3 minutes. Now 7 means 5 people are there. What? Some message has come?
Or only I have joined twice, one with system because network issue, it fluctuates, that's why.
Okay. Even then, no one is responding. Very excellent people. Yesterday's class, did you learn anything from the class?
Acid dream, yesterday we have learned, ma'am.
Then anything else? Any other thing you felt that I learned something? Accident. Then before that, about ozone and how UNEP taken action to, I can't say they have taken, they are showing up how they are acting effectively to protect the ozone layer. Global warming potential, it is a very important topic. If you read in your book, it is little difficult to understand, like that only it could be. It is something very interesting. If you go in depth in the subject, that is useful. And really you want to do PhD, or if you want to do something else in R&D work about environmental pollution and abatement, that idea will, that concept or principle will give a lot of idea to proceed further. Like that it is. Let us start, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. This lesson is on about this secondary pollutant. The title of the lesson is Behavior and Fate of Air Pollutant. 1 second, ma'am. 1 second, please be online. I will be back. 1 second. Yeah, Hello. Hello. Ma'am, sorry. Hello. Ma'am. Hello. Hello. Are you there? Shall we start? Shall we start? Are you there, ma'am? I'm audible to you? Hello. Okay, okay. We'll start, ma'am. This is the fact of behavior, the behavior and fact of air pollutant, which is nothing but how the secondary pollutant are formed and behave. So instead of giving this kind of title, they would have given that smog and photochemical smog. Simply they would have given it is better, or they would have given secondary air pollutant. That would might be the suitable name for that lesson. So we'll see one by one. What are the how the secondary pollutant are formed, and what are the major secondary pollutant which causes severe effect on the ecosystem. We'll see. So we all know that what is meant by secondary air pollutant. Secondary air pollutant means what basically they produced from the primary air pollutant, which react with some other one or more than primary air pollutant, or with the environment atmospheric constituents, that is permanent gases, which produces some other chemicals that is harmful to the entire environment, that is called secondary air pollutant. It has been defined in many ways. Actually, this is a chemical product that formed from the reaction of various primary pollutant with one another. And some of the secondary pollutant are product of photochemical reaction, and some of them are without photolight also it is carried out. And this is formed from the chemical and photochemical reaction in the atmosphere. And the mechanism and various steps involved, and the concentration or type of secondary pollutant produced, which are all influenced by many factors, that is concentration of primary pollutant in the atmosphere, and whatever the meteorological parameters support to that, degree or how much solar radiation or how much it is sunny, and also how much moisture water droplets are present in the atmosphere, and the local topography. All these factors are influenced on the how much effective, what type of secondary pollutant are produced in particular region. And also some various hydrocarbons are available. Some of them inducing and going on in a chain reaction. Most of the unsaturated hydrocarbons are undergo like this. Some of the chemicals may not be undergoing chemical chain reaction, but most of the hydrocarbon, when it comes along with the oxides of nitrogen, when the bright sunlight is available, which initiate the set of chemical reaction that is called chain reaction. At the end of this chain reaction, many secondary pollutants are produced in the presence of sunlight. That is called photochemical accident or photochemicals. And another name we can say secondary pollution. Through this way, many secondary pollutants are produced. And moreover, secondary pollutants are defined, which is produced in the air by interaction among the two or more primary air pollutants, or by reaction with atmospheric constituents, with or without sunlight, and which produces some chemicals. They are grouped. With or without photochemical sunlight means that may be produced by the photochemical reaction, or without normal chemical reaction, which makes the pollutant. Those pollutants are called secondary pollutant. Why it is called photochemical reaction? Anyone can answer to me about the photochemical reaction? Photochemical reaction means whatever the chemical reaction is taking place in the presence of light, even at the room temperature also. If you produce the intensive light, that undergoes some chemical reaction. That reaction is also called photochemical reaction. Photochemical means photons supposed to be involved in the reaction. What is photon? Photon means what? The energy emitted from the sun, which is something like a packets of energy. Those are all called photon. Those photons, when it interacts in the chemical reaction, the rate of chemical reaction, which goes in a forward direction very fast. So that kind of chemical reaction is called photochemical reaction. Whatever the secondary pollutant is produced from the photochemical reaction, those are all very harmful chemicals. They include ozone, formaldehyde, pan peroxyacetyl nitrate. Pan means very active chemicals in the atmosphere, and photochemical smog. In this lesson, especially, we are going to discuss much about smog and ozone only, how it is formed, how it is destroyed, how the ozone is depleting, how ozone is forming, how it is balanced, whether it is balancing or not. All those things we are going to discuss about in this lesson. And the formation of acid rain. In the yesterday's class, we have discussed about the reaction of sulfur dioxide with dissolved oxygen and water tablets in the atmosphere, and which makes sulfuric acid. That is, it comes back to the surface by rainwater. That is called acid rain, or it is a dry gases and a particle deposited on the living or non-living things, which will be washed out from those things by rain. So this is the way it comes back to the atmosphere. So these are all the chemicals or the products formed by photochemical reaction. Very few reactions are formed without photons. And even then, without photons, if they are taking place also in the presence of sunlight, the rate of reaction will be enriched by the photons. So these are all the examples for the secondary pollutant. About this pollutant only we are going to discuss. The first one is smog. Anyone can have seen the smog in the atmosphere? Any one of you have seen the smog in the atmosphere? It is visible. It is visible. When it is visible, if you are burning something in a limited amount of air or sufficient amount of air also, the sulfur dioxide evolved, and which is emitted to the atmosphere. If little cloudy condition is coming, means the moisture and oxygen will be present in there, which react with that sulfur dioxide, which makes acid mist. That is called smog. Smog, actually, why they have named it? It is derived from the word called smoke plus fog. From these two terms, smoke plus fog, which is equal to smog, like that it is formed, and which is nothing but we can refer what is meant by smog means the which refers to the high concentration of acid or dry acid forming compounds, particulate matter, or any other pollutant which is released from any sources will be in stagnant and stable in air. What happened? Any acid forming compound or acid along with the acid forming other compound and particulates, any other pollutant released from any source, what it will happen in general? For example, you are riding the vehicle, either two-wheeler, three-wheeler, four-wheeler, whatever it may be the vehicle. The pollutant is released from the source means immediately it is dispersed in air. We can say that is dispersed in air. If you are talking technically means we can say that the pollutant is dissolved in air. But the dispersion is better than dissolved, because dissolved means the nature of the substance is changed. If it is not happening, means we can say the term dispersion. For example, when sulfur dioxide released, already the air contains a solubilized or dissolved oxygen and water tablets. Then immediately all the three compounds are involved, reacted, then it forms sulfuric acid. If sunlight present means the rate of reaction or rate of formation of sulfuric acid is going in a forward direction, or it is going very faster way. Or the rate of reaction is high. We can say like this. Here, if it is dispersed immediately from the source of emitter, then the smog formation will not be there. When the smog formation will be there, when the pollutant, either it is acidic compound or acid forming compound, along with the particulate and some other pollutant. Instead of dispersing, it will be in stagnant and the air becomes stable means then the smog is formed. That's what the people have described in your book very nicely. Smog form when the emission are prevented from the dispersion by the stable or sinking areas. If it is dispersed, no problem. That is dispersion is prevented by the stagnant air mass or sink air mass. Then these two compounds, what are they? Smoke and fog combinedly it forms smog. That you can say smoke is not yet that much. When these two combination, which forms mean it will not be moved from the atmosphere as early as possible. It will be in stagnant form. It is in stable form. It will not be moved from one place. Smoke alone can be done something. Fog alone can be done something. We have discussed what is smoke, what is fog. Smoke means it may be liquid or solid droplet, which is evolving from the burning of some of the chemicals or smelters, many things I said. For that, I have given an example, agarbatti. Fog means I said it is a solid particle released from any chemical process. When these two combinedly forms smog. Smog is, we can't say the nature of the particle. It could be little solid, semi-solid, gaseous particle, all combination of these three. But whenever it forms, wherever it forms, the air is in stagnant or a stable form. So what will happen? It will be staying at that particular region for quite a long time. Means if there is no movement of air, how we can breathe? There must be a depletion of oxygen. We can easily understand, isn't it? So the smog, how it affects or how it plays in the entire world. Because of that, how much impact on the human living beings we will discuss in this class. It is very important and quite interesting issue. Sulfurous smog. Sulfurous smog means what we see. Already I have defined what is meant by smog. It is any acid or acid forming compound along with the particulate and other pollutant which is in stagnant in stable air, which is prevented from the dispersion by stable air mass called smog or the smog formed in such a way. Sulfurous smog means what? The smog which contain huge amount of sulfurous compound or sulfur dioxide, that is called sulfurous smog, obviously. And these are all produced by the high output of sulfur dioxide, where it can be converted into the respective acid, which is nothing but sulfuric acid in the atmosphere, along with the moisture and oxygen. Usually, this sulfurous smog also contain, because smog means I said is smoke plus fog. Smoke means we know that there must be some unburned suspended soot particle will be there. What is meant by soot particle? The unburned fuel particle, or we can say unburned hydrocarbon present in the flue gases or in waste product, that is called soot. Suspended soot particle must be there, and at the elevated high concentration it is available. So what will happen when you inhale that air and it goes along with the air inside the human being or living things? The soot particle means what did I say? It is organic substance. What will happen? And it gives a lot of suffocation to the human being or any living being. Then it leads to the death only. There will not be, until or otherwise you provide oxygen or something like that, within few hours the livelihood could be saved. Otherwise, it is quite difficult if it has happened for quite a long time. Like that, it happened in many places of the world. How it affected in the different part of the world, we discuss now. Actually, in European and North American countries, every year, earlier during the 20th century, it is very common. The forming of sulfurous smog and the effect of sulfurous smog on the living thing is very common. In London, especially in London, it is very famous during the 19th century and also early 20th century. After that, what happened? They have used less sulfur fuel or sulfurless fuel they have started using. But till that, what will happen? Every year during the autumn and winter season, and due to the burning of coal for industries as well as for domestic fire, the sulfurous compound emission is very high. And the most severe London smog is happened in the year 1952, when cold, very cold air and a high pressure condition trapped this cold smoke in the foggy air. And the smoke is formed mainly from that because there is a cold weather. Due to that, the domestic burning or fire of this coal and other firewood fuel, it is in increasing manner. Anyhow, the condition is very cold means if we are firing the coal or firewood, the soot particle, we can't assure that a 100% perfect combustion will be taking place all the time. So due to that cold condition, incomplete combustion was taking place. So there is possible of removing smoke particles, huge quantity into the air. And when the concentration of the quantity of burning is keep on increasing, and the concentration of smoke particle also in the air is keep on increasing, it reaches about 5,000 milligram per meter cube of air in the air. Meter cube of sooty particle in the air. You just imagine it. 5,000 milligram per meter cube of black color smoke sooty particle was there in the air. If you look at the air, that suspended particles will be flowing here and there. If you inhale, what will happen? Through your mouth, through your nose, through your ear, it will be entering inside your lungs. But what is actually the permissible limit of soot particle in air could be 100 to 150 milligram per meter cube of air only, according to the WHO statement. But how much was there in London in 1952? Around 5,000 milligram per meter cube of air. That is in the black color sooty smoke particle. Imagine how many fold it was. The limit was 100 to 150. There was it is 5,000. How many fold? Even to calculate the fold itself, it takes time. During that time itself, many people would have been died. That was the situation that really happened. And also, the sulfur dioxide concentration was increasing up to 3,000 to 4,000 milligram per meter cube of air. But actually, that WHO limit was around 100 to 150 milligram per meter cube. In such a situation, how the people would have been survived? And the air pH was something like what is the acidic pH of battery? What is the pH of battery which we are using in the car? That is 1.5 to 1.9 volts only. So the pH of the battery acid is around 1.4 to 1.9. The air pH was 1.4 to 1.9, similar to or same like acid battery what we are using in the car. Then how the people would have been breathe? And if they breathe also, what kind of air they would have breathed? You just imagine. If you open your mouth, then this particle only will go. The air contains only sulfur dioxide and soot particle. Whatever the oxygen was there, it would have been used. If it is sufficient, means the soot particle would have burnt out properly. Then there will not be release of any soot particle. So from that itself, we can understand the air where air contains insufficient amount of oxygen. Whatever the oxygen was there in that particular region, it was consumed for burning of fuels for heating and other purposes in the domestic and industrial sector due to the cold weather. Because they can't bear the cold, they should make some alternative. They got it. That is the point. When it happened like this, what the pH of the air also, how much? 1.4 to 1.9. Then just imagine it, the visibility, the vision, the obscure vision only must be the clear vision, it must not be there. The same condition was like there for 4 to 5 days in London during 1952. Now you imagine it, the buses in London, guided by the human being or man, with the lantern, they are showing the direction. You have to move like this, that, like that. Now, how the people would have been travel, how the air it could be, how they would have cooked, how they would have eaten, how they would have breathed, how they would have drink. Everything is the smoke only, isn't it? Food you cooked also, there also it must be there. If you drink water, that also must be having. If you inhale air also must be having like this. So because of that, the people are telling that, and this is existing for 5 days. And for the radius over around 50 kilometers are surroundings. And the people are telling that during that particular time, around 4,000 people would have been died due to this problem. And what the scientists and researchers, they are predicted that whatever number they are telling, the number of deaths happened during that 4 to 5 days, it must be overall death from that incident is less. They would have not been counted after that incident. How many people have died? Only those days on the spot death they would have counted. After that, how many people have died? That would have not been included because the actual number must be more than that. This is the fact of smoke. We are telling that it is here and there. And nowadays, it has been reduced. Earlier days, even in the cities also. City means don't think that the posh area of the city. Corner of the city also is called city only. The people who used to burn that, burned out that unwanted waste material, or we can say solid waste material. And when they are burning, it gives a lot of smoke. If you cross that area, the smoke we inhale also, we start cough. Like that situation it was. What happened there exactly? They are not burning out properly, and some human being must be there to monitor it. If it is not burning properly, they have to turn the material. They're supposed to provide the easy airflow to that material, then obviously it will be burnt out. If in case some wet material is there, that cannot. For that material, nowadays people are using, or they themselves, they have used, I have seen some diesel or petrol to or kerosene to burn out the material very fast. When they are doing like this, in the middle portion, it would have not be burned out properly because of insufficient air or oxygen present in particular zone. So which emits, and meanwhile any air will come in, that the air wind blows some of the unbound particles or smoke into the air also. Those particles flowing in the air, and it is a deposit somewhere. It may be anywhere. It may be the food material, it may be the cloth material, it may be in building or vehicle, anywhere. If it rains immediately, that is washed off. If it does not rain immediately, then where it goes? It will be lying on that material for some time. If it is on the living things, means it goes inside or it started spoil, including the plants. That is the real fact. So when they are doing that insufficient or incomplete combustion, knowingly or we are thinking that we are burning the unwanted material only at one corner. That kind of lazy activities which release lot of smoke particle into the air. Then the cold condition comes, means fogs form. These two combinedly make the smoke. Wherever smoke forms till now, today also in one corner smoke forms, means if the people are exposed to that particular area more than 10 to 15 minutes or more than a half an hour, immediately they may get some problem. One or other problem must be there at the lungs. No doubt at all. This, whatever the statement I have given in that, no doubt at all. That is true. So here two precautionary actions or preventive actions we have to take. One is the person, those who are doing or burning out this waste material or any other, not waste or useful material, whatever it may, any burning process people will do at exact condition or stoichiometric condition or in complete combustion if they carry over, then the release or deposit of this kind of unwanted particle may be reduced. If that reduces, smoke can be reduced. If smoke can reduce, means the smoke formation will be reduced. If smoke formation will be reduced, means consequently it will be reflected on the formation of lungs-related diseases for all living things, not only for human being. Animal also will be affected, will be reduced to some extent. That is true. Okay. And another thing used to say that the human body, people are burnt out physically, make use of some fire. That is also, there are also some of the things, some unburned particles or unburned soot particle is possible to exhaust to the atmosphere. From there also many pollutants are released. That is a very common case. These are all the small thing we are thinking. and but which is very noxious rhythmic change in atmosphere. And over the period of time, if it exists 1 week, 10 days like that and all, then it obviously in Hyderabad it won't be that situation because we have nice latitude longitude condition. The dispersion rate is very high. But whatever the situation I said, it will be happen sometime when the sunlight is not enough. The cold air, cold air at the bottom of the earth's surface will, in case if it traps any air pollutant, then this is possible to form. So we cannot escape from that. But that hill station and the low pressure area, those conditions favor to form this kind of reaction. In that, no doubt at all. Okay, and we'll see some example wherever this smog affect the people. You people may be surprised if I say. Actually, in London, in 1873, is killer pollution events also occurred. That is only because of the same smoke only. Because of that, 1,150 people have died in 1873. And followed by in 1880, 1882, and 1891, all the year there is extensive death in London, and due to this smog formation only. We know about the London, that is, it is in a developed country, and it is very big city, this, that, all civilization, urbanization, modernization, if we think means we can talk few more countries, few more cities, one among them London. But the same London, because of lack of the small concept on burning process, how much big things it happened. Even if it would have been happened one time, it is okay. 2 times, it is okay. 3 times, okay. I myself told in 1852 it happened, and 1952 it happened, then 1873, 1880, 1882, 1891, many years. That's what they used to say. 19th century and earlier, early 20th century also, it happened, and the people keep on suffered because of that. Every year, thousand and many thousands of people are died by the same age. And one more important episode happened in the same place. One place is there that is called Glasgow, and it is in 1909. Because of the same smog problem, it killed around 1,063 residents. And the most notorious episode in USA was happened in the year of 1948 at the place Donera. What happened exactly there? Oh, this slide is not looking very fine. Okay, looking very dull. Okay. And that is one of the important city in USA, Donora. It is a small city which has a population of around 14,000 people only. But that is industrial, that is called industrial town. And because they have many industry like steel mill, zinc smelter, sulfuric acid plant, like that many things are there. From all types. Sulfuric acid plant, steel plant, and this zinc smelter, from all the plant, the sulfur dioxide may be introduced into the atmosphere. And in October 1948, what will happen? One anticyclonic condition formed. Because of this anticyclonic condition, which trapped the emission near the Earth's surface, then obviously the pressure must be less. And because of this continuous trapping of air pollutant, the concentration of such a pollutant is start on increase and continue, because the continuously the industry is supposed to be run. Because they have to meet the demand, the industries are running. When the industries are running in such a way, and the continuous emission of pollutant is occurring, due to that, the concentration of pollutant also rise at the ground level. So what will happen? Because of that, the air become highly acidic. And that reason is that happened because of sulfur release only. And this is existing for the period of 5 days. Over the half of the population suffered ill effect of because of this sulfur concentration in the air. Immediately it leads 27 deaths, and 43 people percentage of people are being affected by this smog, different sort of illness. Can you imagine it? These are all the things possible. Many stories are there like this. Can you imagine like that kind of thing is possible or not? I'm talking with me or what? I'm talking with me. You people will not respond.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you. Ma'am, it is boring. Is it
No, ma'am.
boring? No one is responding. What they are doing, ma'am? I'm really surprised. Shall I convey to the people, to the department or IT department? Why we have to conduct the class for only one student? Then if you want, I can explain at any time. Isn't it? People are what to do, how to do, I don't know. Okay. So can you imagine that these are all things is possible, ma'am?
Yes, it's possible.
Possible. Have you heard in your lifetime at any place it happened even in 19th, 20th century or in the starting of 21st century, any different part of the world due to the smog, any particular region affected like this? Have you heard?
Due to such type of thing, like in Japan also, Nagasaki, Hiroshima also, it's happened like that due to nuclear thing.
That is different, ma'am. That is man-made thing, na? Because of carelessness or something happened. This is automatically happen in the atmosphere. Because Hiroshima, Nagasaki, and recently in 2010 or 11, something happened in that Japan things or something different. That the episodes related to the, we can say that volcanoes activity. And Hiroshima, Nagasaki, if you think that effect is nuclear blast, but this is not like that. And due to that blast, and the air is being poisoned, and then when the people have inhaled, then they have affected. That is different. Okay, agree. But this is something man-made. That because of carelessness of human being, then that things are happened, and unexpectedly it happened. If any other country like Japan means they would have not recovered this much. Because that is Japan, that's what they have recovered this much. And air pollution happened because of air pollution only. All these things are arranged or arised. Till date, people are suffering due to the nuclear radiation. The radiation affected at the gene level. When it goes the mutation, then it affected the generation also. That and all different. But this will happen when the sooty particle released from the small things. Like suppose sometime forest fire happen. Why forest fire? How forest fire will happen? Can we predict? Can we say the reason for the forest fire? We can say the reason behind that is when the drought condition comes, the water molecule or moisture available it will be very less in that forest environment. Then what will happen when the high temperature happen? Once it starts from anywhere else, it spreads very fast. No one can control the forest fire. You know that we are having a fire extinguisher. We are using fire extinguisher. Many type of fire extinguishers are developed, and we have separate department also for that. Many things are there, but nothing could be done because forest fire once it starts, it goes like I think so next to the speed of the light. Like that it goes, and it is difficult to control. And that time any cloudy condition will come, the air becomes stagnant, and the nearby area will be affected by the smog. That is fine. That we can predict. But the thing which I told you is this is happening in the city not because of any episodes like volcanic activity. Volcanic activity will be there. What happened in Japan? Volcanic activity along with the nuclear explosion, both combined only it affected the entire country. What happened in Nagasaki and Hiroshima, some other country, it happened the same thing, means they could not recover back this much, that much damage it was. Till date, they are suffering. That is the thing. But here, the things which we are talking about, for the domestic fire and the industrial fire, and the firing of firewood and coal is more due to the cold climate. When it happens in such a things, it releases the black sooty particles along with the sulfur dioxide, which reaches the concentration of 5,000 milligram per meter cube of sooty and 3,000 to 4,000 milligram per meter cube of sulfur dioxide combinedly, which affect that particular region. The reason behind that burning of coal substances for their everyday uses. The burning rate has been increased because the climate was very cold for the heating purpose. And the climate was very cold, the dispersion of pollutant was less. So the air becomes stagnant and stable. And continuous release of these pollutant in the stagnant air, and it was stable in particular region for quite a long time. The concentration was keep on increasing for the period of 5 days. Then only all the mentioned problem happened in the 5 kilometer distance radius of that particular region. Okay, but whatever we said, it is something different. This is something different. With the day-to-day life, it happened like that. Even we can't say that is wrong because they want heat. During that the winter season only it happened. So if we want to control, means what control measures we can take? Nowadays, modern technology have been developed. The electrical system can be developed, or modernized burner or boiler could be used to produce to pass that gases from our hot water from one place to another place. These are all the things are possible in such a way, in such an environment, But at that time, that is not possible. That's what it happened. But not only that time, now also it happened in China and many times. Okay, then we'll see further whatever. And it's a similar thing. It has happened in Donora. The Glasgow, actually UK is UK location is favored to happen this kind of smog. There are latitude and longitude condition during the winter season or autumn season, or every year, almost every year, the cold air trap. Because of there is too much winter, then the air temperature was reduced. Then the cold air was there just above the earth's surface. Then the pressure was increased. Due to that condition, whatever the mentioned situation is happening. Many years I said 1952, 1981, 1991, 80, 82, 1973, all the year it happens. And the reason data is not there, it would have been happened also. But in Donora, it is one of the place in USA that is with a 14,000 people population only. That is called industrial town with a sulfuric acid plant, stainless steel plant, and zinc smelter. All these three industries are emitting huge quantity of sulfur dioxide into the atmosphere. What happened there in 1948? Anticyclonic condition formed. That is not in our hand. Anticyclonic means what? We know that southeast monsoon and northeast monsoon and southwest monsoon, isn't it? Southwest and northeast. That is supposed to be where at what time it should be there, that time we should have. Instead of northeast, southwest, or instead of southwest, northeast happen means the flow direction of wind will be changed. Then the direction is because instead of northeast to southwest means it reverse direction only, obviously. That kind of situation is called anticyclonic activity. When it happened like that, because when the people are putting up any industry or install any industry or any acid plant like that and all, they will think many things. Because there must be emission of sulfur dioxide. The sulfur dioxide must be converted into sulfuric acid over the period of time at any time when the condensation occurs. So the direction, the flow of this sulfur dioxide, they have directed something which is goes opposite to that where the residential areas. And another important parameter is this sulfur dioxide could be transported in air more than 1,000 kilometers. In such a way, they won't be making like that. But anticyclonic condition formed. That is not in our hand. Okay. Because of that, they trapped many of the pollutant. And over the period 5 days, when it is continuous, so the concentration is keep on increasing, and the air is become totally acidic. That is only because of the presence of sulfur dioxide compound or sulfurous compound. That could be the reason which leads that immediately 27 death, and half of the population, among 14,000 population, around 7,000 people have been affected, and 40,000 people are severely affected by this illness. This is the record. What always I will tell you, from the incident, they wanted to, any disaster or any incident happen, occasionally or accidentally means, most of the time, 99%, they won't give the correct information. If it is politically influenced, sometimes it is possible to say more, or sometimes it is possible to say less. And if it is a disaster means, always they give the information in the higher side only. You know what could be the reason behind that? What could be the reason behind that? Anything I have asked wrong? No. These are all commercial activity. Every day is happening. No, it's happening now. Suppose any politician or any cine actor died, they will say in the next day, because the person could not able to bear the death of that particular person. So these many people have suicided. These many people have done this, done that. Like that information used to come. I'm correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Why it is coming, doing like that? Really that would have happened, you people feel? Or something else would have happened, do you feel?
It happens.
It happens. They would have died. They would have suicided because of death of somebody.
Politician, it will not happen, but other general people, it happens.
One person died means another one will also will die.
No, ma'am.
They are exposing like that. So the reason behind that is, if it is natural disaster, they used to say sometime less because they could not get the correct data. Sometime more because they want to get the fund from the different part of the world. And if accidentally it happens means in a particular government, they won't express, because in this particular government only, accident means what will happen? Because of carelessness only accident will happen, isn't it? Occasionally will happen, that is called disaster. Accident, when the accident will happen? Any one side, because of careless activity, isn't it? Everything is going on well with full confidence, then an accident, how it will happen? Accident means what? Unexpectedly, unfortunately, it's something causes, that is called accident. That's why people used to accidentally we met, accidentally it happened, accidentally it increases like that. So then they will blame, and something happened about the train accident. That time that railway minister said, why the train accident happened, they have inquired the railway minister. What could be the answer of that railway minister? You know that it is a kind of joke, but the person has explained in such a way, and that particular occasion is something unique. Railway accident, many of the railway accident, why it happened? It is 99% carelessness only, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
100%, 100% because of careless one. So when they will inquire that particular department, 1,000 people died, mean they will say 1,000 people died. They will say only 200 people died. They will not say. Then if 1,000 people, when everyone make this, then 1,000 people, how many officials would be there? How many department would have been affected? How many authorities must be died? How many losses to this nation? And we have lost our resources. Many sort of things will be covered and accumulated. Then to replace that, the government supposed to concentrate on many things. Many officials, they would have been supported to the government by doing the work and giving an idea or leading the team. One or other thing. We can't escalate everything here. So everything they will count at last. They will say, if we will say this many people, 1,000 people died means, and they will throw this government very easily. So 1,000 means they may give 1/10 or 1/5 of information only from the accident. But this is not like this. This is something happened naturally. And most of the information they wanted to give also, sometimes they can't get it. That is true. For example, in Japan, how they have given the statistical data? They have given the statistical based on the overall population, based on the census data. They have census data this much, and we have census data this much after 2-3 years. So the proportionally, this many people would have been died. Like that only they can give. They can't give the exact number of deaths. And they don't want to hide it, but they cannot count it. And a human being burnt out, either it is in the form of char or it is in the form of ash, how they can give? Who is that particular person, how they will come to know? It is not at all possible. So they have compared the census data and population data, from that only they can, but here it is not the case. Okay. And another important thing is sulfurous smog is very common. Smog means photochemical smog is there, sulfurous smog is there. Photochemical smog because of some chemical reaction between few compounds which makes smog. Sulfurous smog means because of sulfur dioxide, acid forming compounds are forming in the atmosphere that is not dispersing from one place to another place, which is retaining for a stable, stagnant for quite a long time. Due to that, the ill effect formed in that particular region is sulfurous smog. But the sulfurous smog is very, very common in China. It is very common till date. Now also it is very common. What is the reason behind that? Yesterday I have told, today also I have told. Anyone can you answer to me? What could be the reason why this Beijing is affected because of the sulfurous smog? Coal. They are using the coal which contain lot of sulfur. When they burned out this coal, then obviously sulfur dioxide will be released into the atmosphere. But the thing over there is, where the high sulfur dioxide along with the suspended particle levels, every year and all the winter times, the climate was very cold and clear, and high pressure air is formed because summer also, in summer is the wet season and winter is the dry season. So the high pressure air must be there. These are all the favorable conditions to make or to form the sulfurous smog in Beijing. But why it is happening means, more than around 70% of energy in that Beijing city is depending on the coal burning only. This is the main reason they are getting more sulfur dioxide polluted in that area. Because virtually entire electricity generation is from the coal fired only, and the major industrial processes, especially heating, power generation, household cooking, everything they are depending only on coal. As I told you earlier, China coal contain lot of sulfur than Indian coal, but the burning rate and the burning quality, everything is different. That is immaterial. But the coal contain lot of sulfur. That is the point, they are getting more of sulfur dioxide emission. And during the winter season, they are burning too much of coal for especially domestic heating purposes. Additionally, sulfur compounds are produced by metal smelting industries, and particulate also is one of the main reason in Beijing. Around 40% of particulates are coming out during the season. And due to the natural sources like wind-blown dust or losses, the remaining is mostly ash from the coal burning. Particulate matter. Particulate matter means what? Everywhere people are selling their SPM, SPM, SPM. If you go to the shop, if you buy water filter, they are talking like that along with the dissolved solids. And if you go and buy air cooler, they will say AC, they will say everywhere people are using that SPM or particulate matter, SPM only. SPM means what? Suspended particulate matter. Now my question, what is meant by particulate matter? Everything we have seen. We have talked about what is particulate matter and what are the particular types of particulate matter being classified based on the size of the particle we have seen. So in that only we have seen dust, smoke, fogs, mist, everything. Mist and one more thing is smog also, aerosol, smog, many things we have seen. Now you tell me what is meant by particulate matter. One small definition if I give. What is this? If I ask what is this is very important question. That's what I have spent a lot of time for explaining this particulate matter. Particulate matter, what is particulate matter, and write in detail note about the particulate matter. That will be the question means how do you. Whatever I am explaining, you please listen me very carefully. Sometime based on my explanation, the question will come for this paper or for the another paper also. So whatever it may be the paper, you can explain these points. No issue at all.
Solid or liquid, solid particles or liquid in an air is called a particulate matter.
Yes, that is solid or liquid droplets present in the air and which affects the movement of air from one place to another place because its density is small. The particulate matter sizes are varied from 1 to 100 millimeter size. Some of them settle down, some of them are not settled down. Some of them are reactive, some of them are inert. Inert particle will not be reactive with the other particle, but a reactive particle will sometimes act like a catalytic center also in the atmosphere, which creates many chain reaction in the atmosphere to create the secondary pollutant. That is the role of particulate matter emitted into the atmosphere. It does not have any positive attribute. For example, if you think carbon dioxide, I used to say that carbon dioxide is not at all a pollutant. And when we are introducing the man-made carbon dioxide into the atmosphere, that time only we feel that the carbon dioxide became a pollutant. But it is not at all a pollutant. That is my argument always. But basically it is not a pollutant. But sulfur dioxide or the particulate matter, even if it is available very less level also, it is a pollutant only. Basically that is a pollutant. It is not when the concentration exceeds something or a concentration within there, everywhere there is a limit the people are introducing because, for example, we are taking the cooking flours like wheat flour, rice flour, whatever we are taking. When we are taking, making, mixing, at that time something will be blowing into the air due to the wind movement. That is not in our hand. That you could observe when you are keeping something on the platform. And if you take some flour for cooking, that time something would have been dispersed from that place. It might, after the work, finish the work, you can find out while cleaning. Yeah. So that is unavoidable. That is not in our hand. No one's hand, isn't it? Something when you are taking, disposing means who can control it? No one can control it. That is okay. But that also is being considered as a pollutant when we are talking about the particulate matter. Because for particulate matter, there is no role, positive role in the which associated with the living or non-living things. The things once it comes out of the container or the closed environment, that will be a pollutant only. If it happens from the man-made activities or natural activities, whatever it may be, the gases emitted from the natural process would be balanced. But particulate matter released from the natural or man-made activities, it cannot be balanced in the atmosphere. We can have the excuse, this much less is there, no problem. That much less is there, no problem. We are having, that's what the simple example is that when you are taking the flour, any wheat flour or rice flour, something goes in the air, it is deposited in the nearby container of yours. When you clean it up, you find out it is happening, but it does not make any difficulty or harmful effect on you till it is very less. Okay. So suppose the same thing, little large quality, it would have been deposited on the very small kit medicine. Little more quantity on the medicine of small kit. Will it make any harmful effect or not? Definitely it makes, isn't it? First point, it will not digest. First and foremost point is it will not at all digest. If it is not digested, means what would have been happened? The baby will survive. Not possible, isn't it? Then the kid cannot survive for quite a long time. The kid will kill. That's what I am trying to say, that particulate matter does not have the limit, but we have our own limit. Either state pollution control board or central pollution control board, WHO, the world. Many people have their own limit, but the limit is not at all there for impact of particulate matter on any living beings. Even I said, whatever the limit they said, with the same limit, any child or kid will exposure, it will make a problem to them. Even the particulate matter which highly affect the growth of plants, the little upland plants may not be affected. Suppose the plant just now it comes out of the seed, if it exposed to this small quantity of particulate matter also will be harmful to the growth of that. That is true. That is the problem of this sulfur dioxide element along with the particulate matter. I told you, 40% of particulates in Beijing, which is released from the atmosphere due to the natural sources, especially wind blown and losses. But the remainder is mostly from the coal burning. Remainder means remaining how much? 60%. And one more thing I will ask you, how is 40% of the particulate matter by natural wind blow only they are telling? Then how the city could be? You just explain. Imagine it. We are telling that Beijing is one of the city. As of it is one of the many aspect positive, some of the aspect it is negative. So how much it could be? Yes. Ma'am, the class is up to 130 or 115?
115, ma'am.
Oh. That of start the photochemicals, ma'am. It is not possible. Yes. That means the city itself not very clean. Because to avoid this particulate matter, dust particle deposition in residential area, not only in city or urban area, in most of the village or rural area also nowadays they have not the mud street, they are having cement or tar road only. You know that? Not only now, this is happening in 20 to 30 years before itself, this concept people have been developed. So in cities, we can see very few area only they have mud road. And majority, most of the area, they are not having mud road. They have cement road or tar road only. And this is being implemented in most of the villages of India. The reason behind that, the people, they wanted to avoid from the first point is radon pollution. And second one is this dust and particulate matter pollution only. The dust becomes a major role and which affects all, which creates many diseases and how they can protect. And one way it looks civilization and another way which protects the health from this kind of environmental pollution. These two factors only influence too much to implement such a technique, such a facility in throughout India. I myself have seen the small areas, small villages also, they are having cement. Whether the people doing that work properly or not, it depends. It depends on the local area people, how they are following, how they are implementing, how they are maintaining the quality. It is on their hand. But what I am speaking, the concept or the requirement based on the project is like that. One is the village is supposed to look good, clean, neat, and they have introduced the public toilets also in their rural areas. And for that toilet maintenance, they have appointed some people with good salary, not the low salary level. And for the street maintenance, I'm talking about in village level, all these facilities still is there. For the street sweepers and cleaners, solid waste disposal concept workers, they all have been appointed. Among everything, the public toilet maintenance getting much salary than other department people in village. Even in village, we have a village administrative officer itself get very less salary. They are getting very less salary. What I'm saying is true. But other way they are earning much. But according to the scale, these public toilet maintenance are getting good salary than the village administrative officer. It is obvious case. Okay. So even then, when they are doing like this, then what kind of city they are maintaining? Beijing is the capital of China. China is we can say it is developed and developing countries. Both we can categorize. And they are very sharp. They can make out of money anything, like anything. They are that much intelligent. And they are doing like that also. Till date, in the middle last year, it came that the people have to stop use of all China developed product. But people have argued here and then it was stopped. And nowadays it has again commercialized throughout the world. So economically, they are not in the weak background. When all these things are there, the wind-blown dust, it is more in Beijing city, it is there. They have written in the book also. Wind-blown dust are losses. These are all the natural sources of particulates, which contributes around 40%, in an average of 40% in Beijing. If all facilities are there, why it happens like that? I think that they have used mud road. That's what this would have been happened. No, it is not at all, because that is capital of the country. The reason behind that is their dry air blown in that particular direction is more according to the latitude and altitude condition. This we cannot decide, you cannot decide, I cannot decide. It is naturally occurring. When the naturally occurring, that's what every year winter they are having very cold condition. In that very severe cold condition, the clear high pressure air is dropped near the earth's surface and which absorb all these things. Along with that, because of maintaining or managing the severe cold, they need heat. They are doing coal burning. That is only the thing they can avoid. Instead of, even in the modernized tech world, till now they are using coal only. And they are selling many heater, artificial heater, this, that, and all in the market for 100 rupees, 200 rupees. They can introduce the better product and they can use it, means the little implement cost must be little more for the implement, then they can maintain the atmosphere very nicely. Natural condition itself, it is like that, which provoke and which favor the condition for anticyclonic condition and which supports the formation of smoke. What they can do, they cannot do. Only thing they can avoid, they can reduce the burning of coal. But it is not at all possible, means what they can do. That is the reason. It does not mean that they have mud road. It does not mean that their transportation is not good. And we cannot say that well-developed, equipped conditions, everything they have more better than us. No doubt at all in that. Even their culture of work is something different. One of the student from your super senior somewhere, one lady is from Andhra. She's a deputy collector. She was doing this course, MSc-Env.Science-Course course. She did. And she went to the China for some training in Samsung company. Samsung company is basically from China only, you know that? And she went to that Samsung production company and they were, she took training for 15 days. That is only for human development. The way they have worked, the way they treat the people, and their culture, leave it. Culture is cultureless only. Culture wise, we cannot count them at all in account. And with our culture also, we cannot do anything, obviously. You people may know that. Leave it. And everything in better manner, everything, and the technology and everything we cannot compare. And for most thing is there is no casteism. If there is no casteism means there will not be any ego clash. If there is no ego clash means then how the people work, the people must be working based on the potentiality only. If you do good, I also will good. If you perform 100%, I wanted to perform 110%, like that concept only. Whenever the casteism is coming and involved, my caste is bigger, has another person caste is lower, how the lower community person is working with me equally. So no, I cannot work with them equally, or that person cannot work with me equally. There will be a clash. You are for that only, I am for this only, she is for that only, he is for that only. Then we ourselves will be graded and we treated very badly. And this politics is going on, keep on going on. We must be forget to concentrate on our work. The lack of concentration, the growth of organization will be going down. But even then, the management will be managed here and there to run the organization continuously. It is running and going on like that only. It is happening in most of the government organization and very few of the private organization. And many private organizations, this could not be encouraged. And if it happened like that, then they will be terminated from the service. So in this direction we are going, but they are not concentrating on that, but they are concentrating on something else, and competitively they are working and achieving, and they are settling and running their life peacefully in one aspect, not in all the aspect. In such a city, how they would have been organized everything, including atmospheric pollution, including the energy supply, including that pollution control, abatement, prevention, control and abatement techniques, and if fuel is better, everything is being regularized, isn't it? But even then they have that kind of problem. Is what could be the reason that how many of you are joining, how many of listening me in this class? For that, you please think and answer to me in the next class in the afternoon. It is very important question. And this is whatever I told you, some of them from the previous exam. And whatever the idea I'm giving, it will be useful for you to write any exam. Okay. Okay. Then further we'll discuss on. Shall we start photochemical smog, or we'll start in the next session?
Only 5 minutes left, ma'am.
Okay, okay. Then you can discuss with me, ma'am, anything. My subject now, not a personal things in the class. Even exam point of view, if anything want me to ask also, you can ask. Or any general things, whatever I have spoken, how it happened, why it happened, is it possible, like that kind of doubt if you have also, you can ask. Till now we are...
The statical thing also we need to remember while writing.
No, ma'am, one or two, not all the things, not one or two.
Okay.
Not all the, it is not that much important for you, no?
Okay.
Only one time the one question came from this mark, but it is quite interesting area. But we should aware of it, ma'am. Even when the people are doing, I think 2 years before, 2 years before, in the sense, when we are in the lockdown. That time, one person in the class, he explained that one mother and father, two kids, I think so. All the four were died. They slept in the night. In the morning, they all passed away. When they opened the door, they all passed away. And the investigation department, they underwent the investigation. They said they all died by only carbon monoxide emission, they said. What could be the reason?
It's common because of carbon dioxide and carbon monoxide in concentrated in that closed room.
How it would have been created? From where it would have been created?
They will put angithi and all these things in the room because of in winter season to surrounding should be hotter.
What they would have kept? No, I couldn't get. Which one? What is that?
Angithi, like burning so that surrounding area it will be hot. In winter season, usually they will do, ma'am, in villages.
Burning of something.
Yeah.
Okay, but this has happened in Hyderabad only.
No, it happens in north side also. It's very common.
Okay. And they said the reason behind that only because of emission of carbon monoxide. What happened now? In that puja room, they kept deepam and agarbattis, karpuram, everything. No? That is one reason. Along with that, they kept some this mosquito coil. These two was the reason, and in a closed condition, it was circulated, and all the four suffocated with that. And none of them, they have got up and opened the door. If one or other person would have opened, and they would have been saved from that. And suffocated, all the four died. When they opened the door in the morning, all the four out. So when these are all the things happen, since we aware of that, how the problem comes in the closed or indoor, and it could be avoided by handling some of these precautionary activities.
There should be proper ventilation.
Yes, there must be proper ventilation. And the people used to say many fire happen in cities. The people lighten the deepam in the Friday and whatever it may be the days in the evening. They forgot to turn off, and they would have been traveled. And they have some concept that no, deepam should not be turned off by us. Let it be happen by its own. They left it and go. Because of that, many fire accident happen in residential area. That is also the fact. And recently, last week or 10 days before, Puducherry, one place is there. That is Union Territories of India. In southern region after Tamil Nadu it is. They, this common sewerage system is there now. Common sewerage system, at last it goes to one place where they are doing some anaerobic process. They are converting them into some methane gases. They are distributing into the public use for fuel or something else in the public department. And due to some pressure difference, the gas flow direction has changed. And because of that, it was flowing means it's supposed to flow. So somewhere the pressure thrust was not proper and it deviates the direction. It extended to one particular residential building. In that building, the same case happened except one old lady, remaining all the four passed away. It happened in 3-4 houses in that particular line. In all the 3-4 family, one person is left over, remaining that died because of methane poison. Methane is a natural gas and it is a very good gas which produces less pollutant to the atmosphere, but since it is a poisonous gas. It could be converted into methanol. That methanol can be used for many things. It could be converted into ethanol, also make use of some other compound that could be used as a fuel. Many things are there, but the basic funda of this, when we directly inhale more than a certain quantity, it became a poison to the liver. Ma'am, the class is over.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am. Okay. Then we'll start by 3:15, ma'am. We'll stop
Okay.
photochemicals, ma'am. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you.